So, good evening, you wonderful lot. I'm in a good mood. I'm in a really good mood. I've got good energy because I'm drinking coffee at 9 o'clock at night. But I'm feeling good. Welcome to tonight's That's On This.tv Monday night live stream here on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. If you are watching live, it means the bloody world. Thank you so much. If you are listening or watching on the replay, whether that's on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn or the audio experience on Spotify or Stitcher or SoundCloud or Apple Podcasts, wherever I put this out there, thank you so much. It means the world. Do you know what? Those people who listen on the replay as well, please will you let me know you listen? I know I say that in the intro on the audio experience a lot. But it's amazing. Rico, shout out to you. I know he's been listening to the audio experience for a long time and then recently has come and joined the membership at actsonthis.tv through listening to the audio experience, which is amazing. I know there's a lot of lurkers, about 3,000 actors a week download the podcast, but I don't hear from 3,000 people on Twitter. So I want to hear from you more, right? So do tweet me at actsonthistv or at Ross A. Grant, just so I can say thank you for listening. So those people who are here live, I can see all your beautiful comments on Facebook. Tamsy's just joined us. How you doing? Tony says it's freezing here. He's in the States. It's around 0 degrees Celsius, but far colder with a wind chill. I don't think it's that bad here in Manchester in the UK, Tony, but it's bloody cold, mate. And I've got my hoodie on and the heating on. Shiv, how you doing? Nick was going to say, isn't Chicago usually quite windy? Probably is, Nick. Tony, we've never been. Tony Rossi is our Chicago contingent of That's On This. We all need to come and visit you, Tony. We need a little excursion at some point when travel restrictions are lifted or whatever. I don't know what we can do at the moment. And Alex says, can I sleep this late having coffee? Mate, I'm so, coffee just basically runs through my blood 24 hours a day. I can just sleep. I've got no issues. Got no issues. I just know I get a little bit more awesome with every sip of coffee I have, day or night. So there's not a minute where having a sip wouldn't make you a better person, in my opinion. So thanks for being here, everybody. We've got loads to discuss tonight. There's been a lot going down on actsonthis.tv recently. I'm going to recap on a little bit, but tonight I'm not going to be playing out too much. I'm going to be asking those people who are here live, and I can hear from those people on the replay as well. You can leave comments if you're watching or listening on the replay. Give me a tweet, like I said. I want to ask you guys questions because I really want to know how members of this incredible community of actsonthis.tv want me to shape this community moving forward in 2022. I was just saying before we kind of went live properly, looking back over 2021, me and producer Petch, have been doing that this last week to produce some promotional material to go, basically, if you're not a member of actsonthis.tv, look at everything you've missed. And it blows my mind when you look at the guests that we've had this year. Everybody from literally the biggest actors in the world like Stephen Graham to the biggest casting directors in the world, producing biggest producers as well, and just people basically making the best TV out there, looking for talent on a weekly basis, or helping to nurture talent on a weekly basis. We've smashed it out of the park. It's been the most successful year ever of actsonthis.tv. We've had the most members join this year than ever before. Which makes me realise that hopefully the message is getting out there that if you ain't part of this community, you might as well just sack your acting career off. Basically, this is literally the best community of actors in the world. But obviously, I want to make it bigger and better in 2022. So I want to talk to you a lot about that tonight. Before we do that, I'm going to recap on a little bit of stuff we've been doing on the site recently. This is actsonthis.tv. Want more auditions and more roles on TV? Make it happen with weekly online coaching from the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, and more. That's literally what we do. You get 7 sessions a month with the biggest names of the business for less than everybody else is charging you for one. Pride myself on leading in this industry with the best value out there. But last week we had, in my opinion, the best showreel producer in the UK on, Mr. Chris Stone, for our quarterly feature called Showreel Surgery Live. This was quarter 4. It blew my mind that this crept up on us so quick. What we do on these sessions is play out 5 showreels from members of actsonthis.tv. We critique them. Well, Chris critiques them. The guy knows what he's doing. He's made thousands of showreels. He's the best editor when it comes to showreels, in my opinion, the best producer. He will shoot and write and custom edit and produce your showreel scenes from scratch. Great guy. But we played out 5 reels on this, dissected them. We give out loads and loads and loads of advice. And we've had so many emails in the past when we've done these sessions. Shout out to Phil Goldacre, who sent me one last week, who have said, literally off the back of this advice, Phil, for example, has now landed roles in His Dark Materials, Doctors, and Casualty. off the back of getting his showreel sorted, because he implemented what Chris had told him to do in this session. I'm going to play a little trailer out of what you missed. If you do want to go and get access to the full recording of that, if you're a member of Acts on This already, it's in your members area already, guys. You're going to want to watch that one, not listen to the audio-only version of that. Obviously, you're going to want to watch the show reels. But if you're not a member, get a membership. You'll get access to it instantly, along with 400 hours of the best advice from everybody else in the industry, the biggest names. But here's a little bit of how it worked. It was just a cracking session. Back for the final showreel surgery session of 2021. In my opinion, the number one showreel producer in the UK, it's Mr. Chris Stone. Chris, final session, Ross. Mate. How you feeling?
I'm good.
Bill, obviously, he was on the last showreel surgery, I think, or the one before that. And he said, this showreel is a result of me implementing the advice given to me by Ross and Chris Stone. So far, it seems it's got me paid work in His Dark Materials, which is an awesome series. Jack Thorne wrote it based on the novels, Doctors, and now Casualty. Thank you, gentlemen, from the bottom of my heart. I thought that was lovely, Chris. We're going to watch a reel scene, just a scene, that I shot.
Tell me what you think and be honest with me.
I hope you're better at making love than making coffee, because this tastes like shit.
It's a micro short film, so you don't dump 3 or 2 micro short films back to back. You're literally just picking out the very best key lines. I spoke to my dad recently. This is going slightly off. And he's a jeweler, and he said, actually, this is brilliant. This is from my dad. And he said, oh, we're actually quite similar. And it's like, you cut down stuff and make it better, and I cut down diamonds. And by cutting it, shaving it down and reshaping it, you actually make it more valuable.
Me and my mate Pat, we went to watch you the other week. We had a chat with your drummer Pete Best after. It was gorgeous, Pete.
My brother's as gorgeous as me.
I'd maybe bring it forward.
Higher profile.
Yeah, I would. It's a nice little moment. I'd keep all this in the bar, but then I'd be tempted to lose.
Again, I'd lose the other bits.
If I repeat my statement in court and it's not the whole truth, does that mean I'll go to prison?
You can lose that, pan up, and literally start there. So you want every single frame in your showreel is valuable real estate. You don't want any wastage, so you can lose that. This is a great little performance.
Sorry, I'm just really nervous. I've never been on the telly before.
How do you reckon reels are going to evolve in 2022?
Because the guy's a footballer as well as an actor, and he's loves Ted Lasso, so we're doing that sort of style. So it's tying in a special skill into the reel.
Boom, actonthis.tv, get membership if you want to get full access to that session. But you can see we looked at some wicked reels. With some, the people in the community are crushing it as well. There's members of this community that we've got who are working with the biggest names in the industry on the biggest shows. You saw clips there from Scylla with Sheridan Smith. There's some BBC footage there. People in the community are doing so well, which is amazing. And then we look at their reels. Chris critiques them. And like you said there, every single frame of your reel is important real estate. And we always say reels shouldn't be longer than 2 minutes and 20 seconds. That's generally, for a UK market, more than enough. It also means you can upload it natively to Twitter without having a link to it outside of Twitter. A lot of our industry hangs out on Twitter. Casting directors live on Twitter. It's a great way to market your, work. But yeah, we just went through and, Chris gave his best advice that hopefully those people who got their reels chosen will implement. And then in 2022, it will help them. It will help them land more work. So let us know in the chat where you are at with your reel. Is it in good shape? Does it need work? Do you need to just, I don't know, does it need a refresh? Do you need to shoot some new stuff? Are you truly happy to send it out there, or are you hesitating? You're not truly jumping for joy at it. I think it's one of the things that I see most common with actors. It's like something that they feel that they just, and it will never be perfect. You're real, obviously, but I think so many actors sort of are really not that confident in their material because maybe they've included too much. Because they think they've got to have, minutes and minutes worth of footage when really 60 seconds of quality would be enough to pique a casting director's interest. And they sit back and procrastinate, waiting for footage from short films that they've done a year ago. By the time they get them, they don't even know what the quality is going to be like anyway. And they've probably become a better actor by then. But they've waited 12 months for this piece of footage to come out, and then they realise that the production value is a dog shit, and they go, oh, well, I've just wasted an entire year. So don't do that. If you need a reel, save some cash back, save some money, and get something shot from scratch if necessary. If you don't have the resources at all, do some self-tapes over the Christmas break that you're really, really happy with, that you are jumping for joy to send out, to casting directors, because if you've not been doing that in 2021, you've let go of you've passed on quite a lot of opportunity by not doing that. Every casting director that we bring on actonthis.tv on a weekly basis is like, I'm so open to watching people's self-tapes. Doesn't have to be all singing, all dancing, but obviously your performance has to be good. Kelly, how you doing? Evening, says long time no see. Thank you for tuning in. I'm missing loads of comments here. Chris Everett's here. I was just talking about you a minute ago, Chris, about, didn't you get semi-naked on the Christmas Cocktails and Conversation a couple of years ago and start singing show songs? I mean, it was great, mate. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was very, very good. I don't know if we'll be doing that on Thursday night. Let's have a look. Oh, there's so many comments that I've missed. Apologies. There's a lot of people who have just joined here. Ricky says, finally managed to follow all the casting directors, assistants and associates from the Ultimate Contacts database. Thanks for putting that together. Ricky, it took us 70 hours to put that database together. If people don't know what that is, by the way, if you're an annual member of actonthis.tv, if you signed up for an annual membership after November 2020, you'll have access to this. If you were before that and you're on an older tier, and you don't have access to the database, drop me an email and let me know. We'll be able to sort some kind of deal out for you to get it at a really reduced rate. But what it is, basically, if you click into your members area over on the website, you'll know if you've got it or not, because you'll have this black product in your members area. If you don't have that black product, you haven't got access to it. So you can, if you're on a £17 a month subscription, you can upgrade to yearly. It'll end up costing you about £19 a month, but you'll get access to it. If you're on a really old membership, you should have had an email off me this week with a deal to get access to this. If you've not had anything and you're confused, just email ross@actonthis.tv and I'll drop you some details through. But basically what that is it's various documents. It's the most comprehensive database, basically, of casting assistant, casting associate, and casting director contact information, as well as the shows they're known for, their IMDb pages, their casting directors guild pages, their Twitter profiles, and agents in the UK as well. And the agents is all broken up into tiers of top tier, middle tier, like lower tier, the North, London, Scotland, Ireland, Wales. Literally, you can't just purchase this. It has to be part of a membership package. It'll never be available to buy separately. But Ricky, I'm glad you got it, mate. And it will have taken you quite a while to go through it and follow everybody. It's there's nothing like it in the industry. No one else has produced anything remotely as detailed. We update it every quarter as well. It just had a massive update at the start of December. So I'm glad you've got that, mate. Go and make sure you make use of all of that info. Let's have a look. Adam says got lots of new showreel scenes filmed, but would like Chris to edit them together. Yeah, that's another thing, mate, as well. Just having someone else edit your reel, again, if you can afford it, because I understand it costs money. I think Chris, what is Chris? I don't know what he is for an edit. Probably 150, 200 quid for an edit. But having an objective pair of eyes on your work from someone who does it day in, day out as a living, as opposed to someone who puts in a Facebook group, I'm learning how to edit, so I'll do it for a £5 for you. That's a bit pointless. It makes a massive, massive difference having somebody who knows how to storytell, effectively edit your reel. Chris is a good guy. I'm not saying there's not other people in the industry, that would be able to do that, Adam. But yeah, if you're thinking of getting him to edit it together, it's definitely worth doing. Got to ask about the Ross goatee. Who's got a goatee? I haven't got a goatee. I've got the light in this room makes any stubble I have just look proper ginger. It's not, but it does go a bit ginger actually. If I actually grow it out, it's like Ed Sheeran ginger. But I don't think I've got a goatee. I don't understand what that's about. Explain to me more into the comments. Right, what am I talking about now? I've got a list of things to talk about. So that was the first thing, showreel surgery. Yeah. Use this time between now and the new year to get your shit together when it comes to your showreel. It's so important. It really, really is important. And if you've been sending your reel out in 2021 and it's been having no impact, one of two things is happening. One, your emails are not hitting and you don't know how to write emails properly that actually get opened and get clicks. A lot of actors write way, way, way too much in their emails. They don't know how to sell a click as opposed to selling themselves in the email. Their subject lines aren't on point, so people won't open them. And even if you do get past all that and they click your reel, if it's not good, then nothing's going to come of it. So have a look at like what you've been sending out this year, and if it's been having no impact, what needs to change? Have you been sending the same emails out this year, the same subject lines, the same content? Have you been sending the same reel out in the same order? Sometimes even like a little change of the order of your scenes can have a big impact. A lot of people want to start with the most dramatic scene. I think it's a massive mistake. It can just put people off. If you're going to start a showreel off with some crying and shouting and fighting, no one, needs to sort of like is up for that initially within 5 seconds of clicking play on your reel. We want to see a scene. We always say on showreel surgery, we want to see a scene that's close to you. I want to know who you are as a product to begin with, and then you can kind of show more range. So sometimes a little edit up of just the order of things. Chris says sometimes it's like having all the words in a sentence that you would need to make a sentence, but if you got them in the wrong order, it doesn't make sense. If you put the words in the right order, then it's English or whatever language you speak, it makes sense. And sometimes showreels can be like that. You've got all of the scenes you need to make a great reel, but if they're not in the right order, they don't make sense. And I love what he said in that trailer there as well. That thing about his dad, that was good. Chris's dad is a jeweler. He's probably earning a lot more money than us as actors, but Chris's dad will shape diamonds. And what he said was brilliant. He says, as he shaves stone off that diamond, yes, he's cutting stuff off it, but it's actually making it more valuable, which is a crazy thing to think about, really. I reduce something in size and get rid of some of it, and it makes what's left more valuable than the original whole. Your showreel's the same. Sometimes getting rid of shit makes it more valuable. If you've got 3 minutes of stuff on there and you can cut 40 seconds off because it's some stuff that like you're holding on to because it's got some sort of sentimental value, or there's a famous person in it but it was shot 10 years ago, get rid of it. It can make it more valuable. So that was number one. That was the first thing on the agenda for tonight. Showreels. But you can access the full 2.5-hour session with Chris in the members area on actsonthis.tv right now. And Indra, thank you, mate. He says it says Chris is 150 for an edit. I always go to him. That's good to know, though. And Alex says, should get my new scene back from Collective Media this week. Nice one, Alex. Can't wait to watch it, mate. That's wicked. And you are right. Quality over quantity, 100%. Second thing. Oh, did you all? I just want to check in with you. Accountability here. If you weren't on last week's session, and if you're not a member of actsonthis.tv, you wouldn't have had access to this session the week before that we did on goal setting for 2022. A massive, massive part of my life, goal setting and getting clarity, setting strategic, smart goals via a framework that makes it almost impossible not to hit them every year. Go and download this ebook. It's called It's Time to Get Smart About Your Acting Career Goals. It's completely free. I wrote it with my bare hands. It took a long time. Well, not a long time, but it probably took me half a day. To write it. I walk you through the same framework that I use every year to set my goals. And genuinely, it's transformational if you do this. If you go to actonthis.tv/goals, it's completely free. actonthis.tv/goals. Just pop your name and email in, and you'll get it literally within 2 minutes. So I just wanted to check in and make sure people have got that. I'm not saying you have to work through it this week, but don't just leave it on your hard drive. Just because it's free does not mean that it's not valuable. Okay, the information within that book genuinely changed my life in 2014. It really, really did, financially and in many, many, many other ways. So do go and get that. actonthis.tv/goals. The next thing I want to talk about is something that I'm really freaking excited about. Some of you guys will know about this already. Some of you won't. You will never have heard of it. But basically, earlier this year, I brought out it was a course. It was a weekend live event, basically, that I ran for 151 actors, all about getting their first TV role. Or if you've already got your first TV role, this would really apply to anyone who's looking for like anywhere within their first sort of 5 or 6 credits, I guess. So those initial roles you're going to get in TV where you're maybe going into Coronation Street as the policeman who's arresting somebody, and you've got 2 scenes and 15 lines or something like that, or you're the doctor giving some news to somebody in Emmerdale, generally on the serial dramas. That's where a lot of people start. If you are looking for that role, that kind of role, listen up. So what I did is I took people through. It was a massive 2-day, 16-hour event called First TV Role Fast Track Live. And the whole point of that is anybody who came on that weekend basically got to attend that session live. It involved special guests, people like Peter Hunt, the head of casting at Hollyoaks, Mickey Jones, one of the Coronation Street, Hollyoaks and Emmerdale directors. We had Chris Stone on talking about showreels. We had Tony Blake on talking about headshots. I think he's the best headshot photographer really in the country. We just went through absolutely everything and gave you a blueprint of literally how you would go about landing your first TV role fast. It's a method that I've used now to land over 30 TV roles. I still, to be honest, implement some of the stuff within that to this day, but particularly when I was starting out to get my first 12 TV roles, I just rinsed and repeated exactly what is in this program. So we taught it live over a 2-day event, and those people have been going through that since September. I'm losing count of the number of people now who have got their first TV role off the back of it. A lot of people set goals to achieve it by the end of this year. Some people were like, I didn't think I was going to do it. Jill McVeigh, shout out to you. I don't know if you're watching tonight, just achieved it this week. She's not filmed it yet, but she's landed a role. I don't know if it's on Emmerdale or Corrie. I think it's on one or the other. But a lot of people in there have now landed their first TV role. Petch, producer Petch included, who actually works for me. He used this as well. To land his first TV role. And what I always planned on doing is I recorded that entire weekend. Okay, so every single session that we went through, and it's 16 hours with workbooks and stuff. I recorded everything basically. I've broken it down into bite-sized videos that people can go through in their own time. And I'm going to launch it as a pre-recorded program for the first time ever in 2022. It will come out early, probably towards the end of January, I'm guessing. And I think it will be limited. I don't know how many places I'm going to sell. I might only have 50 places. The thing is I can't unleash it to the whole industry and go, 500 actors go and buy it, because the stuff that's in it, I don't think many people are doing. And I don't want suddenly 500 people all doing it, because it might make what's in it less effective. So at the moment, there's only about 150 people who've ever been through this program. When you think there's about 60, 70,000 actors in the industry, it's a very, very tiny percentage. But I think I'm going to open it for just 50 people. It is an investment. It's not going to be cheap. Those people who came on the weekend paid 500 quid to attend that course. I did promise them that would be a discounted rate, because they were effectively helping me make the program, just to be completely transparent with you. That's obviously, I needed people on it to go through it, to prove that it works, to give me testimonials. So those people who went through it initially get it at a slight discount. So it will be not massively more expensive than that, but it's a premium product. But what I've done, just for people, if you're listening on the audio experience on the replay, or you're here live and you're interested to find out more about that, it is proven. I swear to God, it's literally the only, to my knowledge, proven program on earth to help people land their first TV role in record time. You can go over, let me just make sure I've got the web address right, actsonthis.tv/first. Yeah, actsonthis.tv/first. And you can register to get on the priority waiting list, which means you'll get emails from me about this before it is publicly available. So if you want to register, there's no obligation to get it. It just means that you will be on a list of VIPs effectively. If you're listening to this or you're watching this live, you'll be one of the first on there. And the first 50 people on there effectively will get priority over everybody else if they want a place on that program. But yeah, actsonthis.tv/first. You'll see the page there. First TV role fast track, the only online course proven to help you land your first TV role fast. Coming early 2022. Get on the wait list now. Just put your name and your email in there. You'll get a little email confirmation from me. It's very brief. It'll just say you're in. Any news that I have, I'm going to let you know first. But it's something that I'm mega, mega excited about. I freaking love it when people post in. We've got a private Facebook group. I wonder if I can go over to it now, actually. If I go... It's buzzing as well. I'll just see what's going on. What's going on in here? Let's get Facebook up. Let's have a look. There it is. First TV role fast track inner circle. This is a little secret private thing. You won't have really seen it before. There you go. There's Jill. Just on December the 2nd. My goal was to get my first TV role by the end of this year. I nearly gave up. Then with the nick of time, I couldn't be more excited. Very nervous too. Thank you, Ross Grant, Lee Petcher, and everyone in this group for helping me believe in myself. And look at all those comments, 28 comments, all just, saying congratulations and stuff. It's the most supportive kind of group going. But so many people within here have been in your situation if you're looking for your first TV role. And if you've been struggling to get it, these people have used this program effectively to break through those roadblocks and get it. So that's just something I'm super excited about. Actsonthis.tv/first. if you want to go and get on the waiting list for that. That's coming early in January 2022. And then next up on the list, right, this is where I start asking you questions, because I want to know. I want to know what you want me to cover in a feature that I'm doing in a couple of weeks. I'm just going to look into the chat here though, and see what the crack is. See what's going down here. Am I missing any comments? I'm missing so many comments. I'm sorry if I'm. I can't keep up. People are talking about Chris Stone and the edits, the showreel edits and stuff like that. Craig, I think, is asking for his contact details. So Craig, if you just go to chrisstoneshowreels.com, chrisstoneshowreels.com, all his contact details are on there, mate, and you can watch a lot of the showreels that he edits and the stuff that he shot from scratch, shot from scratch as well. Which is good. Josh says, loved it. Still implementing everything you taught us now. Constantly using the booklet. Get on it, Josh, man. You're crushing it, though, dude. And you've took action, mate. That's the thing. You can go on as many courses as you want, although there's nothing like First TV or Fast Track. No one's ever produced anything like it. But if you don't act on them, that's why this community is called Act on This, then nothing's going to happen. But I've seen you just constantly implementing stuff, mate. So it will only be a matter of time for you, 100%. Chris says, I'm kind of lucky that he's going to be working on the cocktail night, as myself and my housemate would have lowered the tone. You would do. I'm going to talk about the cocktail evening for members in a minute, Chris, later on in the broadcast. But yeah, it's a good job you're working, definitely. Evie, how you doing? Thanks for being here. Hope the showreel advice from Chris helped. And Josh says, I'd highly recommend the course. Changed how I view my career. It's definitely working for me in the responses I'm now getting that I wasn't getting before. Josh, that's amazing, man. Really appreciate it. But yeah, if you want to get on the waiting list, actsonthis.tv/first. That's FIRST, not the number one, ST, FIRST. actsonthis.tv/first. Get on the waiting list. And if anybody fills in the form now, just let me know that you get an email from me, because I've literally put it up about 5 minutes before we went live. So just let me know that it is actually working. If you get on the waiting list and you get an email from me, let me know in the chat. So yeah, in what date is it? No, probably in 4 days' time, roughly around the 10th of December, I'm going to be producing the final feature for members of actsonthis.tv with producer Petch. And what we're going to do, and I love doing these, it's going to come out on the 23rd of December. That would have normally been our live Zoom night, for that week. But I thought the day before Christmas Eve, there ain't anybody, none of you guys are going to want to do any work and jump on a Zoom with a casting director. And I don't think any casting directors are going to want to jump on a Zoom on the 23rd of December either. The industry is pretty much closed from roughly the 17th, the 18th. So you can chill after that. It's all right. We can still hustle, though, for the next 12 days. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to produce a pre-recorded podcast, and it's going to be a video podcast, or you can listen to the audio only. And me and Petch are effectively going to sum up the entire year of 2021, everything that's gone down at actsonthis.tv. We're going to recap on the things personally that I have learned, my top 5 lessons of 2021, because every single year, we talk to 50, we do 50 online sessions with the biggest names in the industry, whether they're actors or directors or casting directors or writers or producers or agents. I learn an absolute shit ton that I implement into my career. So, every single week, guys, that's the thing as well. I don't just sit here going, do as I say, not as I do. I hope you realise that I am on the same journey that you guys are on as well. Even running this community, it's like a big part of my life, but I'm still hustling for my own career. To the point that what I actioned last week, I got a decent self-tape this week for a new ITV drama. Not a massive part. I think I've done a good job of it. I sent it off today. Don't know if I'll get it, but I am in the exact same boat as you guys, constantly looking for work. So I'm gonna go deep on the top 5 things that I have learned this year. I've learned an absolute shit ton, like stuff that I didn't know last year, stuff that if I knew earlier in my career, would have helped and stuff. So I'm gonna impart all of my learnings onto you. Petch is gonna do the same, but I would love to feature questions from the community. So I want to know what you want to know the answers to. And that can be literally anything. It could be to do with your career, it could be to do with my career, Petch's career, Act on This as a community, the history of it, the future of it, the industry at large, just whatever you want. I would love to, answer those questions and just have a discussion with Petch around those topics. And also I want to, depending on the questions people ask, I would love to phone you and get you on the podcast, old school radio style phone in, where we can have like a little 10-minute chat as well, to maybe discuss in a little bit more detail the topic that you suggested. So you can either let me know in the chat now, and I'll make a note of some things in my trusty pad, or you can send an email to Lee. Okay, so lee@actonthis.tv. So Petch is going to be producing this feature and sort of creating the agenda, I guess. So if you've got any questions, and they can also be completely off-piste, they don't have to be about the acting industry. You know, sometimes I love listening to podcasts with people that I follow online and hear about their personal lives. Go, actually, like, what was it like as a kid growing up? You know, what was school like for you? You know, what was all this kind of stuff that's made you into the person you are now? So it doesn't have to be like acting related. If you want to know something about Petch's past or my past, or anything like that, or our present or our future, it can be completely off-piste. It could be Christmas related because we're going into Christmas. Me and Petch will probably be having a mulled wine while we're recording the podcast. But I would just love to feature some people from the community. We used to do this before everything went on Zoom. And I would bring a casting director around to my flat and we'd record in my kitchen over a coffee and we would ring people up, which was pretty cool. Now, obviously, everything's moved on to Zoom, which to a certain degree makes it even better. But I think you can have deeper conversations when it comes to stuff you're recording as a podcast in real life, as opposed to it being across Zoom. There's something just very intimate about having a coffee with somebody and looking at their eyes and recording a podcast where they're 2 feet away from you. There'll be lateral flow tests going on, don't you worry, before Petch comes into the apartment. But I would love to know, what kind of questions you would want to know the answers to. But yeah, drop lee@actonthis.tv a message, lee@actonthis.tv, lee@actonthis.tv. Chris says, dangerous game, asking about personal lives. There might be some talk of the Ross love life. Chris, there always is. There's always talk. I don't mind, though. This is the thing as well, because like this is something that I love, kind of like being an open book, to be honest with you. I'll discuss anything. I'll discuss my love life all the time, or general lack of at most times. The thing that why I think that's relevant still, though, is I've said this a lot, but I really believe every part of your life affects every part of your life. And I think acting is one of the only industries in the world where every part of your life can actually be used within your work. You know, your personal life will affect any job you do. Not as an actor, you could be the CEO, Jeff Bezos, you could be the CEO of Amazon. And if your shit's gone down in your personal life, you might not perform very well in your job. The beautiful thing about being an actor is that could be the case as well, where it's quite difficult to work if shit's going down in your personal life. But actually, once you've absorbed it and you've got over it and you've tackled it, you can then use that emotional access within your work. So no experience in your life, good or bad, ever goes to waste. Even sometimes where I've been having a bad experience, there has been almost like, I don't know, it's probably a bit sadistic, isn't it? A moment where I've almost stepped back from the situation for a second and gone, fucking hell, this is really awful, but what an experience. There's bound to come a point, if you get through this, where you can use this in your work. And that's just maybe a bit weird and a bit self-indulgent, but sometimes I am like, look, you know what? If I hadn't experienced the bad times in my life and the good times in my life, then I would be a far worse actor for it. You know, had I not been through those emotional experiences, I wouldn't have had that emotional unlock and that access. So I do think that even what would normally be seen as off-topic discussions, when it's related to an acting community, I don't think it's that off-topic. Because even hearing about other people's experiences, even if you've not experienced it and you can't relate, say you are talking about someone's love life and they're going through a divorce and you're not even married, then hearing someone discuss that and what it's like and maybe the pain and the upset and this kind of thing, you can go, oh, actually, right, if I ever got a scene where I had to play that, I now have a bit of real insight into it as opposed to guessing. So although those topics are off topic to a certain degree, I still think they are relevant. So fire away, Chris, if you've got personal love life questions. If you want a dating coach, I'm probably not your man. But if you want to know what not to do, although it's going all right at the moment, to be honest, my love life is fine for now. But normally it's tumultuous, to say the least. Indra said he's not talking about his love life. Well, Indra, you don't have to. You can get you on the phone and we'll talk to you about mine. It's fine. Joe, how you doing? I hope you're feeling well. Said sorry for joining late. Not well, lady, but not COVID. Yes. At least it's not COVID, Joe. So you look after yourself. Yeah, hopefully you are wrapped up warm and staving off whatever. Is it some sort of like? I can't remember what you said. Is it some sort of like coldy chest infection type thing you've got? Have some mulled wine, Joe. That'll sort you out. Chris Everett. Josh says, "Do you need a wingman?" Josh will be your wingman. And Chris says, "I can't have Ross as my wingman. He's basically me, but with a good personality." Chris is very funny. Chris is like, I don't know how I describe your personality, Chris. It's dry, probably ever so slightly cynical. Chris is very funny though. Chris is probably a bit funnier than I am. Bit drier sense of humour though. Christian, how you doing, mate? He says, I got my top sorted for Thursday. Oh, you got a Christmas jumper. Okay, well that's the next thing I'm going to talk about actually. Because I've covered the podcast, haven't I? So yeah, ultimately I want your questions, right? Email Lee at actsonthis.tv, anything you want to know about the industry or us or the business, actsonthis.tv. I don't know, even making your own side hustle. Actsonthis.tv for me was just a way of basically staying in the industry when I wasn't working, was a hobby 12 years ago that's turned into a real fucking force for good and something that has become a legitimate business where I've been able to employ people. I never thought that before. I never thought I'd be paying somebody else's rent or mortgage with my business. That's insane. It was it wasn't a fluke because I bled out my eyes to create this community, but organically, it's just grown into, and you guys have been a massive part of that, into something that people like being a part of. So maybe you are thinking of creating your own community around something that you really love. Doesn't have to be acting. Could be bloody Marvel superheroes. Petch would be good at doing that. Spider-Man community. Maybe you want to know how you grow a community, how you market a business to people. I don't know. Anything you want to know, anything you see me doing in my own career or on actsonthis.tv that you want to know how we do it or why we do it, or any insight, please, ask us a question and we'll include it in that podcast. So next up, Thursday night. Let me go over to actsonthis.tv again. I'm going to share my web browser with you. Those people on the audio experience, you will have to imagine what's on your screen. Don't forget, if you want to get involved in First TV Roll Fast Track 2022, go to actsonthis.tv/first. Get on the waiting list now. There's only going to be 50 places available. I can't sell it to more people than that. And also, we want to give you real personalised help as well. So that's why I can't have more than 50 people in it. But actsonthis.tv/first to get on the wait list. And that's the Ultimate Contacts database. Don't want to know about that. We know about that. I just need to go to actsonthis.tv/live. And I'll show you the last couple of events that are happening for members before Christmas. There's only two. But this is happening this Thursday night. Live Acts on This member Christmas cocktails and conversation Zoom networking night. These get a bit leery. They're not recorded. What happens on the call stays on the call. Chris Everett is very happy about that. Although I did record a bit of you singing, Chris. I think I burnt it. Never to be seen ever again. But I did at the time record it, I think. But it says there, what a year 2021 has been for Acts on This members, and it's starting to look a lot like Christmas. Come celebrate with us, bring your favourite Christmas cocktail, and connect with actors from around the globe. We'll be running 3 rounds of networking. Petch will be hosting his now famous big Christmas quiz, and we'll be giving away hundreds of pounds in prizes. Now, I say prizes, I'm pretty lazy, so I'm giving away hundreds of pounds of Amazon gift cards, because I can't be bothered shopping for you for prizes that you might not want. So what we're going to do on Petch's big quiz is it's you versus me, the community versus me. We're going to pick 20 people at random from the call. You're going to get asked a question. I'm going to get asked a question. If I get mine wrong and you get yours right, you win an Amazon gift card. I don't know what they'll be. Some will be like 10 quid, some will be 20 quid, some might be higher, 50 quid. But we'll give away a fair few pounds worth of Amazon gift cards that will hopefully brighten your Christmas a little bit. That's 7:30 p.m. on Thursday the 9th, this Thursday. And then the week after, the last session of this year, is a live acting mastermind with an incredible director, good mate of mine, Philip Barantini, and the cast and crew of Stephen Graham's brand new film, Boiling Point. I don't know if Stephen's going to be on this call. He's been on calls with us before. He was on my vlog. He jumped on a call when we had Lewis Arnold on talking about BBC's Time, the great drama that Stephen starred in opposite Sean Bean. I don't know if he'll be able to make this call, but I will be able to confirm who's going to be on this Zoom session within the next few days. It will be Phil. It will be some of the key cast and some of the key crew that made this incredible short film. If you don't know about Boiling Point, it's a one-shot film, 128 minutes, I think, shot in one continuous shot. It's set in a incredibly snazzy sort of restaurant kitchen on the busiest night of the year. Stephen Graham stars as the lead, and it's an absolute roller coaster, adrenaline packed ride. I won't spoil it for you, but it's very, very dramatic. I just think it's really interesting shooting a film in that way where you go, holy shit, I've got to do it all in one shot. Imagine being a small part of that at an hour and 23 minutes in, and you've got to walk into the kitchen and put some plates down and not drop and bump into the camera or fuck it all up. I don't know if I'd want that pressure. You'd have to improv, wouldn't you? You just have to, whatever happens has to just happen. But I filmed behind the scenes of the concept version of that with Phil and Stephen and the cast when it was a short film, just a 20-minute version that was brilliant. I've not seen the full version, but I will watch it between now and then, obviously, so I can talk about it on the night like I know what I'm talking about. But they're the last two features of this year. I've already booked in the first feature of 2022. I won't spoil it for you yet, but it's with a top agent from an agency we have never had on before. And I'm just going to bring some wicked guests on in January to just set the tone for the rest of the year and ultimately to motivate the shit out of you and inspire you to make 2022 your best year ever, literally making the rest of your life the best of your life. Give me some feedback on Facebook now. If you could mark this year out of 10 for how well it's been for you, in terms of, let's just look at it from a career aspect, in terms of goals and things you set at the start of the year. If you could mark out of 10 sort of like how it's been for you, just be honest. And if it's been a 3, it's been a 3. If it's been a 9, it's been amazing, but no one can say 10. I'm not having a 10 off anybody. You can never have a 10. But I'd just love to know, and because it doesn't matter, whatever this year's been, we're going to make 2022 better. Even if you had a 9, we're going to get you a 9.5 in 2022. But I just want to know where you guys are at, and also any ideas. All right, Sarah, how you doing? Also, any ideas on guests you would like to see? I'm going to aim to get quite a lot of round tables done next year. When top shows come out, I want to get the director, potentially the writer, and the two or three leads from that show in. I'm going to talk to Mike Gibson and Sheridan Smith when their new drama, No Return, comes out. I was at the read-through for it. A brilliant drama written by Danny Broccola. Superb. Mike's been on Acts on This.tv before. And Sheridan was amazing at the read-through. I would love to get them both on to just talk about how they actually shot that, because that was at the height of COVID as well, abroad. I want to know what that was like, what they learned, and I want you to see the show. I won't spoil it for you, but the story's freaking amazing. And I don't know if it's based on a real thing, but when you watch this, you'll be like, oh shit, that could so happen. And what a nightmare it would be. I won't spoil it for you, but basically they go away on holiday, and they get into a real bad place with an event that happened that is so innocent, but in the country they were in was not taken as such. So very, very interesting story. Won't wreck it for you though. But yeah, I want to do some round tables with cast and crew where we bring multiple guests on. I'm going to bring back casting directors that haven't been on for 18 months. Because they will have cast a load of stuff in the meantime. We've had practically every big casting director in TV on Acts on This.tv over the past, definitely over the past 12 years, but even over the last year, we've had them all back on. But obviously stuff changes in this industry all the time. Different things happen, different shows get cast, different things get recommissioned, new seasons of things come out based on first seasons. How can you get into those? We're going to get everybody back on really to give us complete updates of what's going down. But if you've got any questions, then or any suggestions, for guests, let us know. People are saying, so in terms of the year, let's have a look. We've got a few 5s, we've got some 4s. We've got 4 for now, says Christian. 8. Sarah, you've gone high. You've had a good year for an 8 then. I made my West End debut, but not a 10 because I still don't have an EU visa. Well, you can't have a 10 even when you get one, Sarah. The most you can have is a 9.5, I'm afraid. Because there's got to be room to go somewhere in the following year. Let's have a look. 3, says Sean. Sean, we can get you to a 6 or a 7 fast, man. That's a beautiful thing, right? When you're honest with yourself and you go, it has not been my year. And some of that might have been, down to things completely out of your control. Some people might have been dealt health issues or family issues or financial things. And you just, you've been in a difficult place or whatever. Or some people might, again, if you're being vulnerable, you can just go, well, actually, you know what? I've not put the work in. And that's fine as well. Just don't kid yourself. Because then you can take all the power back and go, I'm not going to pass the blame because then I'm passing the power. I'm going to take all of the power and go, right, I'm in control. 2022, I can do something about this shit. I'm going to rock up and I'm going to turn up to every session that's on this.tv every week. I'm going to make sure I follow up with the guests that are on there. I'm going to send them my stuff if they're casting directors. If I need an agent, I'm going to watch all the agent sessions. I'm going to get involved. I'm not going to sit back and be passive. I'm going to be active. I'm going to act on this. We can make, if you're a 3, we can get you to a 7 so fast. If you're an 8, Sarah, getting you to a 9, that's pretty hard because you're already up there at that level. Whereas if you're at a 3, God, we can get you to a 6 in 2 weeks, in the new year. So don't worry about, not having a great year this year. We can do something about it next year. And Sarah says, I've had a bloody lucky year theatre-wise, but it almost puts more pressure on for next year. That's what I was saying. If you're at an 8, also nowhere near my film TV goals, but just embracing it as a marathon, not a sprint. Yeah, it is. And you've got so much time, so much time on the clock to make inroads in film and TV. You can't do it all. You can have it all, just not all at once, Sarah. So you can. You just got to deploy patience in the long term. As long as you're acting every day, in terms of, I don't mean acting, as long as you're acting on your dreams and goals and aspirations each day, and you are moving fast on the daily, you can chill and you can be patient in the grander scheme of things, in the macro, so to speak. So yeah, it sounds good though. But if you're at an 8 out of 10 for 2021, that's a cracking year. So good on you. Last but not least, well, we only got 11 minutes. I was going to do at least 30 minutes of Ask Me Anything tonight, which literally is a bit like the podcast we're going to do, just where I'll just throw the floor open, go, right, for the last 10 minutes, I've got no agenda. I've gone through quite a lot of stuff with you guys tonight. If you're not a member of ActsOnThis.tv, by the way, and you want to join us for these last 2 sessions of the year and really hammer 2022, we're going to be bringing you on a weekly basis the biggest names in the game. If you're like, I'm desperate to get in front of that casting director, just come and talk to them on an Acts on This session. You literally jump on Zoom and be on that session with them. We can bring you on camera and introduce you. The access you get to these people on a weekly basis is unprecedented. So come and get involved. But yeah, for the last 10 minutes, what do you want us to talk about? I'll throw it open to you. Basically, anything you want to discuss, let's go. And Tracy says, I'm at a 3. Living with an actor isn't easy. We don't know which character we're going to talk to on a daily basis. What's that, Tracy? Your partner's an actor as well? Is that what you're saying? That's crazy. Because, yeah, I mean, I tell you what, though, all of my relationships of the past 10 years have been with other people in this industry. Is that the right thing to do? I think, do you know what? I think I initially, back in the day, before I'd ever dated an actress before, was like, I would even talk to other actors and go, I'd never date an actress. And they go, yeah, I'd never date an actor either. And then this was with a particular girl at the time many years ago, and we ended up actually seeing each other for a couple of years. And I thought before that, it's going to be a nightmare. It's going to be so self-indulgent and egotistical, and everyone's going to be like, oh, work, talk shop. Actually, it was brilliant. So I think it can work, definitely, but you've got to switch off sometimes, definitely. But if or even if you're just living with other actors, if they're not actually your other half or whatever, you've got to all switch off. If you're in a house share with 5 actors, you've got to switch it off now and again. Go and have a pizza and chill out. Don't even watch Netflix because technically it's still the industry. Sophia says a 3 next year is going to be my year. Sophia, let's do it. And make sure you get the goals. Download Sophia @onthis.tv/goals. Go get that goal setting PDF. It's completely free. I'll walk you through how to really get clear, set your goals strategically via a smart framework that really, makes them pretty impossible not to hit if you go about it the right way. Can I ask you a question for now instead of the podcast? Alex, you bloody can, mate. He says, like you've always asked the guests, what's the one thing every actor should know? What do you think yourself? This is something I've been saying for years. So for me, the one thing that I think every actor should know, and it's something I have to remind myself of often, but every time I remind myself of it, Alex, I get a fire inside and I go, fuck it, yeah, I can do it. And that is everything. And this is literally the affirmation, the incantation that goes through my head. You will have heard me say this before every audition, before every high-pressure environment, or situation that I go into, I always set my intention for what I want from that thing in terms of, like, what is my intention when I walk in this room? My intention is always to leave people better than I found them. So my intention before I came on here tonight, what's my intention for this broadcast? Well, it's to leave you guys ever so slightly better than I found you. Even if I can just inspire you or motivate you or make you feel good or laugh just 1% more than you were at before you tuned in, mission accomplished. But the thing that I would tell everybody is this: in order to do that, or in order to achieve any intention, everything you need is already within you, okay? Is within you now. And you just need the courage to see it through. So you don't often need to go out, and people will put an obstacle in front of themselves in order to basically talk themselves out of doing something. And it's like, even if you can't see all of the steps along the staircase to the destination you want to go to, everything you need to get there is already within you. Even if that's just, just the ability to ask questions or be curious and go, I don't know how to do this. I'm going to find somebody who can help me. That ability is already in you. Whatever it is you want to achieve, everything you need is within you now. But it's the courage component that so few people lack. So for me, it would be, remind yourself on a daily basis, you just need 5 seconds of courage to see it through. And I literally repeat that to myself before I go in any situation, and I say, everything I need is within me now, and I have the courage to see it through. Everything I need is within me now, and I have the courage to see it through. And I walk into that room or whatever situation, even if inside I've got no fucking clue what's going to come out of my mouth, setting that intention and telling myself I already have the courage to see it through. Not I've got to find it, but and I have the courage to see it through. I walk in just kind of ready to go. Just whatever is going to happen, I'm going to deal with it. I don't have anything to worry about. I don't have anything to fear because I'm going to cope with it, right? I've dealt with things far worse, I'm sure, than most situations that I go into, and I remind myself of that as well. So that is the one thing. I ask every guest on Acts on this, what's the one thing you think every actor should know? For me, it's that everything you need is within you now, and you have the courage to see it through. If you don't believe you do, you've got to find it from somewhere. But 5 seconds of courage can change everything for you. That 5 seconds could be the 5 seconds it takes you to dial a phone number and hit call, or to send that email, or to like that tweet and reply. To not let that person in your personal life, for instance, walk past you. You might see someone go, oh my God, I'm so attracted to you. You've got 5 seconds to literally stop them and go, I know this is going to sound absolutely crazy. Can I get your number? And they could go, no, fuck off. And you go, you know what, it's fine. I had the courage to ask. So now I know the outcome. But it's 5 seconds. You literally have 5 seconds before your brain will talk yourself out of doing it. Mel Robbins has that thing, the 5-second rule, which we now know is kind of scientifically proven. Between you having an idea to do something and pursue something, you've got 5 seconds to take some action to get the ball rolling before your brain starts going, nah, don't do that, Alex. That could hurt you. You could waste money. You might embarrass yourself. That's not going to work. You're not good enough. All this stuff. And it's like having the courage to just talk back and go, cheers, mate, for this little self-preservation officer that lives in your head. Thanks for that. Thanks for all the warnings. But I have to realize that they're just thoughts. They're not truths. And I can choose to listen to them or not. And a lot of people don't think they can do that because they think whatever thoughts run through their head is authentically themselves. They go, oh, I'm thinking this might not be right for me. Thus, my divine intervention is telling me, yeah, it's not right for you. It's not right for you. No, it's just a thought. It's just a thought. And you can choose to listen to it, or you can choose to talk back and say, thanks ever so much. Really appreciate you trying to look after me, but I'm just going to have a crack at this anyway. And you know what? You might be right. It might not work, but at least I'll know. So yeah, thoughts are not always these divine things from, a higher power. Some people do that in relationships, don't they? Oh, I'm just not sure about that person, so therefore, probably not going to bother. It's not right. Just don't, just not sure. Well, until you're absolutely sure it's not right, why not have a crack? It's not being fed to you from some sort of like universe or something. It's just a thought. You can listen to it and you can choose what to do with it. So is that what's that? Is that your dating method? Yeah, the 5 seconds of courage, Indra. Yeah, definitely. Just going, right, can I get your number? Oh, no, I'm not allowed. That's one thing that I am good at, genuinely, is shooting my shot when it comes to anything to do with, like, relationships or things like that. I'm absolutely not afraid of putting it on the table and going, this is how I feel. Because I'm so used to rejection in my job. As an actor, you get it every day. I'm like, look, I'm going to ask somebody out, and they say no. I'm like, I'm really genuinely cool with it. It's fine. I just had to ask you because now, at least now I know. That's. I've always been like that. Not always. In my early 20s, I was not like that. But as I've been in this industry a longer time, I'm much more like that. I think I'm pretty good on courage and getting knockbacks in all areas. So yeah, courage is key. That's the thing to basically, yeah, answer your question, Alex. Yeah, everything you need is within you now, and you have the courage to see it through. Simple as that. Shooting your shot, says Sean. I don't mean anything rude by that. I meant as in a shot, Sean, like a basketball. Trying to slam dunk. Oh, it's terrible. Right, it's 58 minutes past 9. I'm going to go in a second. Sean said I might have to rephrase that one. Is that not that's just your mind, Sean. Shooting your shot is definitely a non-rude phrase around having a go at something, isn't it? I'm sure it is. Indra says I can't handle rejection in dating. Right, Indra. Anyone in here who can't handle rejection in dating, you need to ask more people for a date. Get rejected loads, right? This is what I do. Basically, running through my head as I'm going, listen, don't want this to be weird or anything like that. I know, we've kind of like been, sort of hanging out, and I guess it's kind of, we've been friendly for a little while. I know this might be a little bit weird, but just really like you. Like, do you fancy, going out? As I'm saying that, in my head I'm going, they said no anyway, fuck it, doesn't matter. So then I'm almost going, yeah, no, it's fine, I don't want to go anyway. No problem. And then on the odd occasion when they go, yeah, I'm like, holy shit, what a bonus. Right, excellent, let's go. So you need to get yourself to the point where you're so okay with a no that you sort of like embrace it, man. Embrace the rejection. I think the same goes with imposter syndrome. So many people ask me the same question. How do you get rid of imposter syndrome? And I'm like, stop trying to get rid of it. If you are not feeling like an imposter in your life, in different areas, in, career particularly, you are playing it too safe. Every time you're feeling like an imposter and you've got imposter syndrome, celebrate it and go, shit, yes, I'm growing, I'm stretching, I'm doing things that are not typical, that are not, not average like everybody else is doing. I'm feeling like I'm in a zone of discomfort. And you're going to grow through that far more than staying safe and going, because if you don't feel like an imposter, what do you feel like? You feel completely competent and like a professional in that thing you're doing. Thus, you're not growing. You've grown to a point, and then you're an expert at that thing. And then what you're going to do is stay there for the rest of your life. So embrace rejection. Look for more of it in your life. It means you're asking for more. The more rejection you get, it's absolute factual evidence that you are asking for more from your life. Imposter syndrome. It's factual evidence that you are stretching yourself in a stretch zone, in a zone of discomfort, looking to grow more as a human being. And you've got just one crack at this. I told you this year, another friend of mine died this year. I've spoken about him quite a bit recently. His funeral was just a few weeks ago. One of my best mates growing up, Eddie, he was 39 years old. He would give anything to be rejected today, to be here, to go, no, I don't want to go out with you. No, you've not got the acting job. He'd love it. He'd be literally cartwheeling down the street going, yes, another rejection because I'm still alive. Just realise that, like, it doesn't matter. Just doesn't matter. More stories to tell people. Remember that time I asked such and such a body out and they said no? Well, look at me now. I do that sometimes. Girls at school. Sorry, girls. Occasionally there was the girls who were the really cool girls, and they were little bullies as well sometimes. They would bully the other girls, or, they would, I'd ask them out and they'd say no. And then sometimes I look at them on Facebook now and go, look how you've turned out. Thank God you said no. So so embrace the rejection. Just go, yes, that's fine. I'm glad I didn't end up with you, because look at you now. I don't want a piece of that. No way. So it's good that you've got imposter syndrome, Indra. Take that, man, definitely. Alex's growth is outside of your comfort zone. It absolutely is. Alex, you're a little serial datist, aren't you? I'm sure what were you saying last time speaking to you? He's on all the dating apps. Alex Hewitt, let's hook him up with anyone in here single and ready to mingle. Alex Hewitt, I'm pretty certain he's after a date for Christmas. Why don't we do Acts on this.tv dating? Could do that for a bit. That'd be quite funny. I'm not getting involved, but I mean, I'm not. That would be an abuse of power, and my love life is good right now. So but we need to find Alex a date. We'll do a Christmas speed dating session on Zoom during the cocktails and conversation evening on Thursday. It's all going awry, isn't it? Right, it's just gone 10. I better go. And Joe says she says Joe needs some dating tips. Right, well, we're gonna we'll do an extracurricular Zoom session, Joe. We'll bring a dating coach in. Do you know what? A friend of mine, actually, like a friend of a friend, is a dating coach. There's a guy I know who knows a guy really well called Matthew Hussey, who actually I think he coaches females on how to get guys. Normally, you see most of these things as like guys being taught how to actually understand females. But Matthew Hussey, is a good guy. We could get him on. Just go, Matthew. Absolutely nothing about acting at all. Although maybe I guess you might have to do a bit of acting initially. Let's be honest. When you're dating someone, you're on your best behaviour, aren't you? So you're putting on a little bit of an act. It's only 3 months down the line when in my experience, people start letting all the lift the lid off the pan and all the frogs start jumping out, and you go, "Oh, didn't see that on date 2. Was completely blinded by other stuff." Now, do I like that or not? So yeah, we are probably acting a little bit. I think we wear masks in every area of our life, don't we? I guess I've got one on now. I'm presenter Ross. I don't want to. If I ring someone after this, I don't normally have this kind of presentery energy. And I go, "Hi, how's your day been?" "All right, yeah." So I guess we're all wearing masks all day, every day in some capacity, aren't we? But yeah, we'll definitely sort some dating stuff out. And Alex says, "No, F that. Let them see the true colours from the start." I don't believe you, Alex. I don't believe you. When you take a girl out, mate, I'm sure you'll be a gentleman. You'll pull the chair out. You'll take a coat. You'll order an Uber. You'll be the perfect gent. And then 3 weeks in, you'll be like, "Get your own Uber, love. I've spent 20 quid on your bike. Here is a bike. Get on that." Right, I'm going. Gonna love you and leave you. What should I play out? I've played the... Oh, do you know what I've got? Do you know during the trailer of Showreel Surgery, where I played out a showreel scene? If anyone's interested in Chris Stone, yeah, because I think let me see if I've got this. So I shot a showreel scene with Chris recently because a member of Acts on This.tv, shout out to Molly, was having a showreel scene shot with Chris. I very, very, very rarely get time to be in any scenes at all, but it was being shot in Manchester at 53.2. Shout out to Simon Naylor, he's a legend, and that's about 10 minutes from my house. So Chris said, "Would it be in the scene?" I was like, "Yeah, all right." So I shot this scene. It's funny, it's a little bit different. It's very different for me. You hear a lot of the thoughts going on in my head as opposed to what's coming out of my mouth. It was just, something different, and Molly needed something that just showed her as a waitress in a very normal kind of setting, for serial drama style auditions and stuff. So I think I've got this scene somewhere. Yeah, I have. Here it is on my hard drive. I'll play this out. It's only like 3 minutes. But anyone, who before, I know loads of people were asking about Chris Stone. If you go to chrisstoneshowreels.com, you can find out all about his work, contact details on there. I don't get any commission. I should do, but if you tell him that Ross sent you, he will look after you. Just say Ross said to get in touch. He'll give you some VIP treatment. Make sure you are well looked after. And that includes if you want a showreel edit or you wanted to shoot something from scratch. This scene was written from scratch, shot from scratch, edited. This is all Chris's work. And I will see everybody, Thursday evening, 7:30 p.m. for cocktails and conversation. If you're not a member of this community as well, guys, that's on this.tv. Particularly if you're lurking on the audio experience, get a membership, even for a month. Let me show you how in 2022 we can transform your career. Get you all the support you've probably never had before. Put you in contact with the biggest names in the game, the people who are casting the shows you're probably dying to be in. Come and hang out with them on a weekly basis. Make connections, make friends. You know, if you can't make it, watch the replays, listen to the replays. To keep up with everything we do in this community, the commitment is to put a pair of earphones in your ears for 90 minutes a week. If you can't put earphones in for 90 minutes while you're doing other tasks, you're walking the dog, you're washing the pots, whatever, you're getting the kids' tea ready, have a word with how committed you are. Because to hear from the people who can actually employ you and change your life for what would cost you the price of a latte a week, well, latte and a piece of cake max, it's £6 a week. When most people are charging you 30 quid for one session, Acts on This members get 7 for 24 quid. You're doing yourself a massive disservice. You're hurting your career if you're not getting involved. You're literally, I think, wasting years because there's no other way to find this information out like as quickly and as on a plate for you. So come and get involved. In 2022, I would love to see you. So I'll see you Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. And here's this scene. It's called, what's it called? A latte love, I think. Chris will kill me. I don't know the name of the scene, but it's on my hard drive here. It's definitely this. Enjoy it. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you think, and I will see you Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Until then, love to you all. I hope everybody's dating life goes amazingly well, particularly you, Alex and Joe. I'll speak to you in a bit. Bye for now. Oh, hello. Where have you been all my life? Oof. Now, if you're not mental, you are 100% wife material. Yep, I need your number. Oh, and a smile. Play it cool. Oh, fuck, she's coming over.
I almost didn't recognise you without your glasses. Don't tell Si, but this one's on the house to say thank you for yesterday.
I've never been here in my life. I should probably tell you. Oh! It wasn't a problem.
I hate creepy guys like that staring at me. The way you dealt with him, though. You must, work out quite a bit.
Obviously, but that wasn't me. Come on, just tell her. Honestly, no, it's nothing, you know. And anyone would have done the same.
No, they wouldn't. You're one in a million. Well, go on then. Try a latte. I made it especially for you. Tell me what you think and be honest with me.
I hope you're better at making love than making coffee because this tastes like shit. Oh, it's perfect.
Aw, no, you're perfect.
I wanna hold you close, I wanna feel that, I wanna make the most out of the time.
Sorry, that was a bit full on. I'm just completely in awe of you coming to my rescue. My very own Superman.
Yeah, alright, you can stop going on about him now. Fucking hell, he sounds like an absolute bellend. Again, like, really? Now, come on, it wasn't anything special.
Your only flaw seems to be that you're too modest.
Trust me, that is not my only flaw.
I don't normally give my number out. I've had some real bad experiences with men. Just some complete arseholes and barefaced liars. It's like everything's going okay, and then 2 months down the line, you find out they're married with 2 kids. They're never who they say they are.
Yeah. Don't need your entire life story, just your digits.
But you are a genuinely good guy.
Oh, right. I'm gonna have to confess something. I would love to take you out on Friday night. Dinner, cocktails. Okay. Oh, fucking Superman's here. Yep, looks like an absolute bellend.
I wanna hold you close, I wanna feel that, I wanna make the most out of the time left.
Ugh, I hope he enjoys liquid dog shit.
Oh,